Hello, good afternoon. My name is Gaspard Giroud, and I'm here to talk about GAROU, a VR platform that we are developing in New York. I would like to thank Virtuality for having us. We're super excited about the event, and we come all the way from New York to be here, so it's a big thing for us. To introduce GAROU, our VR platform for tourism, travel, hospitality, and brands, I will give you a little bit of background on how we got to start that company about 2 years ago. So, our background is in architecture. I'll tell you just a little bit about myself to help you give you some context. I was trained as an architect. I moved to New York to study architecture, and after a few years working in architecture and visualization, VFX for advertising, I started a company that does a lot of work in real estate marketing, real estate branding, and visualization. So this is the industry we work in. This is some of the projects we worked on. So as you see, this is a photo of Central Park, and some of the skyscrapers that you see in this image do not exist yet. They're going to be built in 2020. And all the images at the bottom are renderings that we did for commercial partners, big developers in New York. We often work on very big projects in New York. And so that's our background. Our culture is to do very high-end, very glossy images for real estate and architecture. In 2011, we created a film for the World Trade Center, a 3-minute film, and it was a very successful film. We got very happy, and the client was very happy. It was very, very cinematic. It was it had a lot of views and a lot of praise in the press, so that's just one still of it. But we have a team of very talented CG artists, and always have been in the world of recreating digitally projects that have not been built yet. So it was somewhat natural for us 2 years ago to start looking into developing VR content, and we started exploring, with devices, and pretty quickly we realized that instead of creating just different experiences possibly for our clients, we could develop something much bigger, much more interesting, that is more in the form of a platform. And so we started building a prototype. And that prototype is based on real geography. So we started to recreate New York City. And with our architecture culture, what we did is that we created a scale model, like an architect scale model of New York City. So if, when you get into our first pilot, our prototype, what you find is a large model of New York, which would be, if it's only Manhattan for now, so the size of the model would probably be from the size of the stage, right? And you're a big giant, just like in this image. You're able to walk among the skyscrapers, and on different parts of town, you see these little islands that are textured and colored, and they tell you that you can enter different experiences. We have built 17 experiences inside the platform for now. Some of them are museums, some of them are like landmark locations, some of them are brands, some of them are real estate, and so on. So we're going to see some of these. So I'm going to have a quick teaser to show you if I get the perfect. So I'm going to have to push this, sorry. Oops. I got it. Not used to this. Right. All right, so you click on that logo, and then you enter this giant map of Manhattan, and you see these signs all over the city, and when you click on it, you enter the space. So the city is very abstract, it's very white, but this is the Museum of Natural History. Once you enter, it's very realistic. This is the World Trade Center, so you can enter the Oculus, which is a new train station that just opened a little while ago. And not every New Yorker has been there, have been visiting, but you can do it today. You can visit us and actually enter that space. We created the Guggenheim. We have a Tesla showroom where you can go try the Model X. You can open the doors. So what's a little bit particular about what we do is that we created this big app in Unreal because we are obsessed with visual quality. This is our culture, this is our background, everything needs to look perfect and very, very high quality. And so this is a little bit what makes our project stand out. Top of the Rock in New York. If you haven't been there, again, you're invited. Our booth is around the corner. Real estate, Airbnb. So this is a visualization of the future skyscraper that's going to be built in New York. There we go. All right. So let me see this. I'm going to push this back. There we go. All right, so I'll tell you just a little bit about the experiences that we're having there. You saw some of them. So one that is people's favorite is that we recreated the gargoyle of the Chrysler building, and you're able to stand on it. The inspiration came from the MIB movie, the Men in Black movie, where Bruce Willis steps out and jumps from there. It's a very impressive experience. We have the Musée of Natural History, as you saw. We have helicopter tours. We're going to go back to that. We have Central Park. We have luxury real estate. And we have the Oculus. So this one, the Guggenheim I love because we spent a tremendous amount of time doing it. We also didn't have the CAD drawings or the architect's drawings, so it took a very, very long time to rebuild. But what was interesting is that we looked back at a competition that the Guggenheim had in 2010, and they had a competition called Contemplating the Void, and invited architects and artists to create create installations for the rotunda. We picked two of them that we loved. One was designed by Anish Kapoor, the famous British artist, and it was a big red tornado. It was never built. It was just a proposal, but we created it in VR. It's a really amazing experience to do. You can go up the ramp in our app, so you can see this installation in a way that probably very few people have seen. I actually went to Anish Kapoor's studio. We presented the work, and he gave us the permission to use it, and he wants to be credited. So he owns that work. So we're super excited about that. We have another exhibition there as well. So when you're in the Guggenheim, you can pick what exhibition you want to see. We have Top of the Rock. It's cool. We have met also with Tishman Speyer, the company that owns Top of the Rock, Tesla showroom, the Oculus at the World Trade Center. You have an Apple store where you can go. And so what's important, and maybe I should have said that earlier, but you guys are all connoisseurs of VR, but this was created for the HTC Vive or the Oculus Rift or Windows mixed reality. It's a full room scale environment. So, I need to be very clear. This is very different from 360. You can physically step into the space. You can navigate in like a 3 meter by 3 meter area. And if you want to go past that, you just, leapfrog with your controllers. But everything is room scale, which means that everything has been recreated in CGI. Everything has been built in 3D. And so it's a lot of work. It's more work than capturing it, right? But there's a lot of benefit because you can really go anywhere. You can look under the table and things like that. I'm going to try to go quick because I really want to hear from you guys and know what your interest is in VR. So after we created very painstakingly this app for almost a year and a half, we started showing it a little bit, and we caught the attention of WeWork. WeWork is a $20 billion co-sharing office space. And they're, both a real estate company and a tech company, and so they always want to be at the tip of the spear of technology. So they commissioned us to do a pilot. They love Garou, love the visual quality of it, and so we created a We Live, which is a brand of WeWork, an apartment that they design, and that was our first commercial partnership. This is where we started, doing this for money that we had not done before. So we did a year and a half of work for completely at our own expense with the help of an investor in London. So the second client that's very, very important is Vornado, which is a big real estate developer in New York, and they're working with the state of New York to build the future Penn Station. In New York, you have 2 train stations, almost equally important. You have Grand Central, very famous that you see in movies, and you have Penn Station. Penn Station is less famous because it's really not pretty. It's like a maze, it's tunnels, it looks like a really dark subway station. There is no big train hall. And so they are changing that. And what you see now is our VR scale model. But basically, that's it. A whole block of New York, the entire block of New York next to Penn Station will be an extension of that train hall, and it will have commercial use as well as public use. And so we're working with them to create the future, to show the future project in VR. It will be probably finished in 2020, 2021. A few years from now. In the meantime, Vornado was very anxious to be able to show the space, but you cannot see the space because it's under construction, right? So we showed them Garou, they really loved it, and so now we're partnering with both Vornado and the state to create this amazing project. It's really quite something. So what we started doing, this project is not released, it's under construction right now, but what we did for them is that we recreated the lounge, the sales space, the real physical sales center, which looks like the first frame on the upper left, right? So when you are inside that sales center, you put the headset, and you find yourself in the exactly same space. Nothing has changed, right? It's as if you were here, and you put the headset, and now you're sitting on the same chair, and you are in this atrium. So, but then things starts to get more interesting because at the click of a button, in the middle of that space, we recreated a chunk of New York City, and that shows Penn Station at the center. So now you can see the project in context. You can see how it connects to, how its relationship with the Empire State Building. If you see on the second frame, you can see the Empire State Building on the right, and you can see Hudson Yard, the big development on the left, and you see the river, the Hudson River on the left, on the at the far end. So really shows the project in context, and you can connect to that, right? So, I need to go much faster. Anyway, you can open up also that section of town to see how it's connected to all the subways and trains to go to Connecticut, New Jersey, and so on. We also are able to create sections and open up the model so you see exactly the offering, the floor plates that are going to be for rent, right? Finally, we did something also very exciting. 2 things is you can visit the space. Do you see these containers? They're just there for scale for now. it gives you a sense of what the space is going to be like when it'll be ready for rent. Finally, we created the old Penn Station, a beauty that was destroyed in 1963, and we brought it back to life in VR. Again, you can visit it physically. This project is going on, and we're super excited about it. Another commercial partner is Flying Iron. It's a helicopter tour company that came to the office, and they saw helicopter tours that we were doing in Garou. If you come visit, you can do that. You can do 5 helicopter tours around New York City in VR. They're very, very impressive. Flying Iron, that company, instead of feeling threatened by what we were doing, really liked it, and they're working with us. We started installing this virtual reality app in their hangar, so the people who go take the actual tours are offered to take the virtual tour. And very often they come with friends or family who don't fly, so they do that. And it has actually had very, very good, a very good response. This is at their lounge. That was a while back. We did a survey to find out if people liked it. You know, we just weren't sure. We loved it. We weren't sure if people loved it. We did a survey, and this is the result of the survey. It's almost always rated 8 or above on a scale of 10. So we're very excited about that. So much so that we created a special app. Let me see if I can show it to you quickly. We have 3 minutes. Yeah, okay, so you know what, I'm gonna skip that. Basically, we created a helicopter app to fly around New York City, and it's on sale on Steam today, and we just launched it a few days ago. We're happy to get a decent response because we haven't done any publicity for it, and we're selling about 2 copies per hour. Every half hour, we're selling one so far, and we haven't started to do any advertising. I really want to do question and answer, so I'm going to do quick. What's next for Garou? What are we trying to do? So we created New York City as a prototype. We want to develop it in multiple cities. And what is the technologies that are very important for us to develop is to put Garou on the cloud. All of these experiences, the Guggenheim, the Brooklyn Bridge, Times Square, the Taj Mahal, when it's built, the Louvre in Abu Dhabi, all of these VR experiences will move to the cloud. Right now, it's not. I'm going to skip a couple of things that are less relevant for today, but what we are implementing now is multi-user. So multiple people will be able to meet in the Guggenheim, on the Brooklyn Bridge, in Le Louvre, in Paris, Notre Dame, Le Grand Palais, wherever you want to meet, you're going to have multiple people. We're testing this very successfully. If you are curious about it, we can do multi-VR today with our New York office. So you come see us, you're going to put the headset on, and you're going to meet someone in New York. You will physically see the person. I need to go quickly. The next thing we're going to implement, we're extremely excited about it, is that you're going to be able to share these experiences on social media. So if you are, again, in the Guggenheim or in the helicopter, wherever you are in the world, you're going to be able to take photos or stream videos on your social media account. That's our next step. So that's it, I'm good. So I think one quick thing is we are on booth 88. So we're downstairs here, and if you want to come visit and have a look at the real thing, we would be very excited to present it to you.
Thank you. So we have time for one question. Who would be the lucky one? Really? Nobody's lucky today? Okay, thank you.
Hello, Konstantin, Middle East. What sort of clients are you looking for, who you would be happy to meet?
Sure. So typically, where we're happy to get traction is travel, tourism, hospitality, and brands. So that platform is well suited for this type of industries because what we're trying to do is that in a year or two, you're going to be able to book a hotel, check a hotel room, check an Airbnb in GAROU and book it there. So we're mostly interested in building real-life environments or universe for brand. So there's a couple of things that are interested in GAROU is that, for instance, if you go to the Tesla showroom, we have a button for the Gigafactory. And so the idea is that you enter from a real-world location, but then you can go visit the brand, right? For the Guggenheim, when you enter the New York Guggenheim, we have a button for the Bilbao Guggenheim. So again, once you enter the brand can expand its universe and you can go from there, right? So mostly travel, tourism, real estate, and hospitality, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a lovely day, guys, and have a look at their booth. Thank you.
Thank you.